Welcome to our live stream. We're going to be interviewing Joey Stout, talking about how he bought an Airbnb and how he was able to do it with no bank and a really low rate. So that's going to be really exciting to hear from him. My name is Austin. I got started in real estate in 2019 when my wife and I wanted to buy a house. So we submitted our mortgage application when my wife was pregnant with our third son. And I remember the lender told us that we did not qualify for a loan because they didn't know if my wife was going to go back to work. Right, this is what they told us. So they didn't allow us to get a loan. It was heartbreaking. It absolutely crushed me. But like every good millennial, I went to Google and said, Google, what should I do? And Google told me that in 2019, 11% of all mortgage applications were rejected in America. That's 1.6 million mortgage applications were rejected, denied. 1.6 million families told they couldn't buy a house in 2019. Crazy. And so it started us on this journey to start our business where we're helping 1,000 home renters become homeowners over the next 25 years without using banks. It's kind of our way of like sticking it to the financial institutions because they didn't want to help us. And so we're going to help people buy homes without any bank. And our guest today, Joey, is actually going to share a story how he bought an Airbnb with no banks. Comparing stocks and real estate. And I hate having to pick one, and so I often don't. But I do say this. In 2020, I woke up one morning and I looked at my news app, and it said that our president made a tweet about China. Right? That was the headline. And then I proceeded to look at my portfolio, my stock portfolio, and everything started tanking. And this is what I tell people, the difference between real estate and stocks, a big difference for me at least, is stocks can change that quick. A tweet from the president about China changed my stock portfolio in an instant. But you can tweet whatever you want about real estate. It's going to take a lot longer for that thing to move. What was the first actual action step? Right? I hear a lot of newer investors like, oh, I read a new book. And that's good. But what have you actually done? So what was your first step?
First real action step was actually like telling people I was an investor before I really was per se.
Yep.
And my biggest, and I say this all the time to my mom, she's been the biggest help because we lived in the same community for like 18 years.
Wow.
So when I told her, that's like telling 200 people that live directly in my neighborhood, right? So she was able to send me a Facebook post based on me telling her I'm an investor, right? And the Facebook post was my friend's mom that had said, hey, we're thinking about selling our house that we've owned for 30 years. We don't have a loan on it, so that's where the action step. And then I'll say on top of that, a double action step was actually texting the person that was thinking of selling her house, not knowing, what the heck I needed. I didn't know about a pre-approval or anything. I just said, hey, I want to buy your house.
On Instagram Live, I was just on the live before this, and I was telling them that you and I have probably had an hour of cumulative time between text messages, audio messages on Instagram, emails, right? We've probably, maybe an hour cumulatively. And you were able to lock up this Airbnb near you for very low rate and no bank at all. That's going to potentially gross you over $50,000 next year, and that's conservative.
Okay, well, I'm at my W-2 because I still have a W-2, sadly. And the janitor one day is rolling by and he's taking everybody's trash. And I just talk to everybody. It's just kind of what I naturally do. And I said, hey, man, what's up? And we got to talking about, business. And then it turned into real estate. And he had said, hey, man, I'm actually deploying soon. I said, oh, wow, how soon are you going? He said, well, I'm not exactly sure, but I'm looking to sell my house. And I said, oh man, do you mind if we look at it? So And he was like, well, man, I already have an agent. I said, no, I'm not an agent. I said, I'm an investor. I buy houses, right? And, something I do is offer people passive income when I buy these houses from them. It was kind of like knowing who the person was because I had the time to build the rapport, from the previous conversation,
Right.
which you said was super important. So, I was texting you right before it. I'm like,
Yep.
Austin, what the heck do I do? What's going to happen? And you're just like, dude, relax. Just focus on building the rapport with the seller. So, we were already friends, and it made it really easy. Was just talking to him, man. I wasn't bringing up, hey, what's that scratch on the wall, right?
Yep.
I'm talking about, hey, man, what's that white Hennessy over there?
Yeah, there you go. Right. That Hennessy white.
like,
What?
yeah. And, talking about tattoos, whatever. Yep. And of course, we're walking through the house as we do this, but 2 hours of conversation later, we had seen the whole house,
Right. I tell people all the time, there's 3 rules for me in real estate: be kind, be reasonable, and be firm. But the first one is be kind. Just be kind to everyone, because you never know what kind of deals are going to come across your path. Whether you're cold calling, text blasting, whether you're working directly with agents, no matter what you're doing, the biggest thing for you is to know this: you're not trying to close on your first contact. That is not the point of your first communication with a seller or even in a walkthrough. This is not where I don't try to close deals here. What I'm looking for is rapport. I'm looking to find any commonality between us, and I'm just looking to build a relationship. People will do business with those they know, like, and trust. And so at the end of my visit or phone call, I need that person to think I'm like the greatest person on earth.
I threw out 375, and those numbers would really be beneficial for me.
Yeah.
And he said, can you do 390? And it was a deal right there. So this is the interesting part. So I grabbed my notebook out of my backpack. I'm like, oh God, I didn't print out, anything. So then I start writing, and he's like, man, what are you writing? And I'm like, this is going to be our contract, right? So
Yes.
This is what I wrote.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. You got the 390 right there.
Oh, I love it. You answer me this. I think this is important for everyone to know. Joey, how many courses have you taken in creative financing? How many mentorships have you paid for? We'll get to why it's important, but like, how much have you actually invested specifically into creative financing?
I have not bought any courses. I haven't had a paid mentor. It's all about action, baby. Come on.
Oh, I love it. This is why I started a company called Simple Real Estate Investing. Because real estate, it's not easy, but it's simple. I'm not going like shotgun blast where I just shoot at everything and see what actually hits. I have a very refined criteria that I'm looking for. And so it's from that movie, The Patriot, with Mel Gibson. I remember it's Mel Gibson and his 2 sons. And I forget what they are, the redcoats, I think. They're walking down the creek after they had just killed one of his other sons at their plantation house. And Mel Gibson looks at his son and he says, do you remember what I told you? And his son says, aim small, miss small. Aim small, miss small. And so you don't have to convince anyone like a cold caller. All you have to do is persuade them that selling to you is the best option, right? Convincing someone is influencing them to do something that they don't want to do. Persuading someone is influencing someone that your option or your method is the best way for them to do what they've already said they want to do. And so here was my exact script. This is so stupid because it's not fancy or anything. Joey, you're going to laugh at this. I would get on the phone with real estate attorneys. I don't know how to talk to an attorney at all. But I would jump on the phone, and this is what I would say. I'm going to act as if you're the attorney. Hey Joey, my name is Austin. I'm a real estate investor in the Bay Area. I want to be able to buy this house from this seller by taking title but leaving the debt in their name. How do we make that happen? I did it with property management companies when I was looking. I live in the Bay Area. I was looking in Cleveland, Ohio to buy rentals. And I
It's a
would
good
call
place.
property, yeah, solid cash flow, incredible cash flow. Older homes, tenant base not as affluent in certain parts, so it's a little more difficult, but solid cash flow. But I would call these property management companies, literally same thing. Hey Joey, my name's Austin. I want to buy rentals in the Cleveland market. I have no idea what I'm doing. Can you help me? And they would just literally that verbatim, and they would run through every single neighborhood for me and tell me what to stay away from. Dude, they're the experts. And so I'm gonna lean on them because that's what they do. That's their job. This is the literal text message. Let me add me and Joey. There we go. This is the literal text message right there. 7:22 my time, which was what, 9:22 or 10:22 your time? I think
Right.
it's 10:22.
Yeah, 10:22.
You texted me, I got it. And all I said was, dude, I'm in a board meeting for my job. And then just telling you, man, it's that easy. And then here's you sending that contract.
Oh, yep.
Oh, I love it.